Okay, it's me and the one and only cowgirl up, Grace, my 10-year-old daughter. We're heading out to the sand dunes today to do some training on a young horse that she actually won in an essay contest a couple years ago. His name's Leo. You've seen him in some of the other training videos. And we like to get out to the sand dunes to do our training. It's just like a person training on the sand dunes. It's an unstable footing. It works them really hard. Plus, it's harder for them to get away from you. They lose some of their power in that sand. And sand, if you happen to get thrown, is a lot softer than hard dirt. So we get out there a couple times a year, and it's just a good place to get your horse. You can work a lot of the bugs out of them before you get into the hills, and it's game on. Are you ready? All right, this is Charlie. You've met him in some of the other videos. He's a 9-year-old Arab. I get teased. Arabs aren't the best mountain horses, although I might disagree. They've got a lot of endurance. They're a little hot, but buy what you can afford. That's what I've done. I bought him for $250 and trained him myself. If you can afford some of the hybrid horses, you know, quarter horses are great in the mountains. That's what I like. Sometimes I can't afford one though unless I can buy them as a colt. I've seen Tennessee Walkers do really well in the hills. Either way, buy what you can afford. A lot of guys don't get into horses because of the expense. Horse prices are really down right now with the economy, and you can pick up a colt for a few $100s and just start working him for a couple of years and end up with a horse that you couldn't buy for $2,000 or $3,000. And that's what I've done. None of my horses are really high-end horses at all. They're just ones I've picked up and trained. They're just like athletes. It's the training really, I think, that matters. And if you can pick up a young horse and work with them and get to know them, you can end up with a horse that'll do anything that you want. Right? Meathead. Okay, I use these lightweight Cordura saddles. They're easy on the horse. One other reason, they're easy on me. Go ahead, Grace. Grace will show you here. Even a 10-year-old little girl can put a saddle on a horse. You cannot do that with a 45-pound roping saddle. All right, part of training a horse for the backcountry is also training the rider to be able to stay on the horse. Riding on a flat trail for 20 years doesn't teach you anything about the backcountry. In the backcountry, you're going to be forced to ride on very steep slopes. Make sure you train your horse in a safe environment to do that, so that the first time they don't see a steep slope is on your buck hunt. That's just a recipe for disaster. So I bring them out to these sand dunes, and I start by riding some gentle slopes, and then I start working more and more onto steep slopes, as you'll see here. Just gradually increasing the steepness of the slope that I'm working him on. Lean back on a hill, put your weight on the balls of your feet. Uphill, you lean forward just a little bit. You'll notice when I go downhill, I put my weight on the balls of my feet, I lean back, I go with a wide rein so that it's easy to steer him, okay? Notice that I don't hang on to the horn. I think that can become a bad habit, especially for new riders. That horn isn't going to do you much good if you're bucking. It really doesn't. It's better to keep control of your reins. The problem with the horn, if you're holding on to it, you're not holding on to the reins with both hands. And so I use the horn as a last resort, or if I'm, as you'll see right now, if I'm going up a really, really steep hill and I got to dig in, sometimes I'll reach up and grab the horn. Now that's some steep country. A lot of times developed horse trails, they won't have any sections that steep, but you just need to practice it. You just never know when you're going to end up off trail. Maybe you're packing out some game. Sometimes you're working cross country. You just need to practice this stuff at home, because nothing worse than being on your hunt and getting bucked off. You tear up your rifle, you tear yourself up, and you just lost a week of vacation on the time of year you want to be out there. So practice this stuff. Plus, it's a lot of fun.